All right, and we're off and running. And hey, guess who actually finished shooting a video before starting the live stream? This guy. And now I have a clarified Bloody Mary. You can see there's clear ice in the middle. Ooh. But it's genuinely weird because it's savory. Not bad though. Not bad at all. Tangy. Like an interesting but very cold vegetable soup. Vegetable juice? Vegetable juice. More interesting than like the vegetable juices you get at various places because I've got alcohol in it. Hey Megaleech, how's it going? So yes, the cowards at the various juice bars won't do the 3 shots of rum that I put in this. I was thinking of maybe making some more videos tonight. I plan to do some low alcohol cocktails, lower than average alcohol content cocktails. Might be a bit tough after drinking my way through this one. And hello, Justin and Greg. How you all doing? Just chilling out on a Sunday night. Having had a night out last night. Oh man, I did not take a photo of this. Oh well, c'est la vie. Hey Luke, how you doing? Annoyed with myself for not doing that, but I'll get an image from somewhere. Gosh darn it. Pretty annoyed at myself, quite honestly, for forgetting to take that image. But what are you going to do? What are you going to do? I'm just sitting here by myself, and I'm just making shit up as I go. Oh, right. Oof, yeah, Luke, anxiety is a bastard. Bastard that lies to you. What is it with your brains that it triggers all your crisis, fight, flight response when there's no actual crisis? But the brain's going, no, I think I should be ready for a crisis. I think I should act like we're in a crisis right now. Oh, Justin, my COVID prediction. It's funny because this showed up on my Facebook memories today. 3 years ago today, World Health Organization announced there are like 5 million COVID cases worldwide. And I said, that might sound bad, but look on the bright side. That's probably less than 1% of the number of cases we're going to see. And the current count is over 750 million. So I was right. 5 million was less than 1%. And fuck me if there's not, this year might be more than all the previous years combined. Might not as well. Trying to predict the future is a mug's game, except when it's really obvious, like every mofo on the planet's going to get COVID. And yes, Luke, I hope the anxiety lets you out of its grip somewhat, because I don't have significant problems with it myself, but I know many people who do, and it's a bastard. It's an absolute bastard. So that's the official position of the Angry live stream. Anxiety fucking sucks. But we must soldier on. I did watch an interesting YouTube video today. The German scientist Sabine Hossenfelder looking at the question of neurodivergence. And is it true that just like everyone's neurodivergent now, and with a specific focus, but not limited to autism spectrum? So it was very interesting. It's very funny when she makes jokes in that monotone of hers because she's German. English isn't her first language. Very impressive that someone chooses to present incredibly complex topics in a language that is not their first language. And she almost never makes mistakes. She very rarely makes mistakes with grammar and pronunciation. But she does talk without the usual expressive inflections that most native English speakers have. Justin, look, interesting question. I don't know what's happening. I have not looked in great depth on what's happening with fatality rates lately. The damn thing keeps mutating, and it's just, there's much less reporting on it now. I did see something during the week, someone in South Australia saying he had concerns. They were looking at a record number of cases in South Australia. This was also predicted to be a bad influenza season. I see, Saracen. No. What I was just saying about grammar is I watched a YouTube video today by a German scientist, Sabine Hossenfelder, and I'm just saying she presents extremely complex concepts in. Yeah, get the bingo cards out. I'm bound to do something. I think I'm already repeating myself. But yes, she puts forward very complex concepts in a language that is not a first language, which is a major fucking feat. And she makes very few grammatical and pronunciation errors. And it's very funny to me when she makes jokes in a monotone. And it's not like Stephen Wright or Mitch Hedberg. It's just she doesn't. They might have done it in a monotone, but they had a rhythm to what they were saying. She does not even really have the rhythm of a native English speaker telling a joke. And I find that quite funny. And a significant amount of her jokes are self-deprecating, which is always endearing if someone is up for making fun of themselves. So, but yes, I don't agree with everything she said in this one. I think she lets a group called Autism Speak off the hook too easily. I think she overplays the idea of radical activists, but not in a really gross, egregious way. It's just not sure you're right about that. And I do automatically go a bit with anyone who wants to talk about radical leftist or woke activists as if they're some sort of scourge. I always am a bit really. Is that a real thing, or are you inventing a thing there? Because often it's inventing a thing. Anyway, my very elegant drink. So, anyone who missed me explaining it earlier, this is a Bloody Mary. Yeah, her most recent one on trans people missed the mark a couple of times too. Again, I'd say my interpretation of it is she's not egregiously, viciously wrong, but some of her reasoning I was not on board with, but not terrible. I don't think anyone's as mad at her as particle physicists, as she keeps making videos essentially saying particle physicists are full of shit and they just keep making shit up. And when the shit gets exposed as being bullshit, they just make up new bullshit, which I honestly find pretty funny. Someone shit talking particle physicists. So yeah, it's yeah, and I also think Dr. Abigail, she basically has to go off her core expertise if she's going to keep creating content for YouTube, because she runs out of stuff to talk about in her core competency. So she has to do a bit of research on other topics. And like I said, the neurodivergence one wasn't terrible. She failed to mention or is unaware, because she brought up the whole thing of Asperger's syndrome and how that's fallen out of vogue largely because Dr. Asperger was a fucking Nazi to all intents and purposes. So, and that didn't get a mention at all. So I don't know if that's just something she's unaware of. I guess those are the two things that really stood out to me in her neurodivergence one, which has only come out in the last day or so. And yeah, it was not mentioning that Asperger was a eugenicist and cutting the group Autism Speaks way too much slack while building up the bogeyman of dangerous radical activists, which I'm like, really? It's just pretty much every autistic person I know thinks Autism Speaks are full of shit and come at things from a bad angle. Justin, see, that's why the right hates the woke universities in your first year taught gender as a social construct. I think both gender and biological sex are not simple. And it's weird when people try to pretend it is simple, because it simply isn't. I think I said simply too much there. Anyway. Oh, well, I hope they walk the walk, Justin. Neurodivergent training for managers. Hope they walk the walk and don't just talk the talk. I mean, it's still my favorite joke I've seen someone post on Are You OK Day. I love Simpsons memes, which is a tragic Gen X thing, but I'll own it. And there's the Simpsons episode. There's a thing that literally, there was a real thing on American TV. The network TV would say, I think it was 10 o'clock at 10 o'clock. There'd be like a slide that says, it's 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are? The idea that children were running wild in the streets or something. And in one episode of The Simpsons, where the kids are off doing something, Homer's sitting there like, eating a microwave dinner, watching TV. And the thing says, it's 10 o'clock. Do you know where your children are? And he goes, I told you last night. No. And someone did it with the Homer's watching the TV, and the Are You OK logo comes up. And he goes, are you okay? And he goes, I told you last year. No. Because a lot of people get the feeling that employers only give that lip service and don't offer any genuine supports. But some workplaces do. Asperger's. Oh yeah, it was definitely, well, and that was actually something that the good doctor explained fairly well, the changes in classification, But yes, I think what I mean is people don't even like using the term Asperger upon the discovery of Asperger's Nazi history. It's the same reason Pluto was demoted from planet status. Oh God, who did a good video on Pluto? Oh, I watched that recently too. Man, you can get all sorts of wacky science shit on YouTube. And yeah, that was the summary. If by whatever definition you wangled saying Pluto was a planet, there's just an absurd number of other things in the system that would meet the definition. So I see Saracen, you could argue we evolved from hermaphroditic animals. I have no idea to what degree that's accurate. I do know that intersex people are real. Again, so when people want to argue about biological sex is a binary, just isn't. But yes. Would I take neurodivergent training? Yeah, I maybe would think of AD the whole time. I don't manage people. I suppose I work with people still. I mean, you know. So, yeah, science, it's a thing. And as much as they get criticized, another German one, actually, Kurzgesagt, which is German, a single German word, which means in a nutshell, which is to sum up an argument. And really nice animations that explore quite wide, varied topics of science. And some people have attacked them, not altogether incorrectly, for taking money from people like the Gates Foundation and having done a couple of videos that were perhaps overly flattering to entities that had provided them funding. But I don't know. Oh gosh, Megalich, what are you arguing about gender and biology and whatnot? Because right wingers are not open to being challenged on that. We have animal rights. Do you have AI rights? Stop being a bullet AI. AI is not a being in any sense of the word. It's just a set of programming, and the concept of humanizing them is as dumb and predictable and as excusable as humanizing your Roomba vacuum as it zooms around. Those programs which are being called AI now are no more real, self-aware, sentient, sapient than a Roomba. They just aren't. It's very complex programming. It's extremely clever programming. It can do all manner of things. In fact, I'll just say it. You can have a better conversation with these chatbots than you can with human people. It's that simple, and that's why people get attached to them and anthropomorphize them, because the language model is so large and so complex that it seems to be meaningful interaction with the chatbot. It isn't. There is no meaning whatsoever in the interaction. The chatbot has no intention. The chatbot has no understanding of the interaction it is having with you. The chatbot is following programming that tells it what the next most likely word is. So it tells it how to construct sentences, and based on just its unfathomably large language model, it predicts what the next word should be. Same as when it's doing images, it's like predicting what the next pixel should be. But it has no understanding of what it's doing. It has no desire. It has no desire to create art. It has no desire to interact with you. It can fake. Well, again, but it's not faking because saying it's faking is intention. It has no intention. The programming is so complex and so innovative that it can create an extremely compelling illusion, but it's just not. It's not real. It's just a program. uh, okay, so we've done Mega Leech to point out that this person who's making arguments about gender and sex has no real fucking idea what they're talking about. So it's like, of those images, say which one should be woman, which one should be man, and which ones you don't know, because it's like they're going to get it wrong. Or, if you can't tell, it doesn't matter. And this is why I get weirded out by the TERFs who come up with what they think are really compelling arguments, and they start going on about chromosomes or egg production and whatnot, and the double barrel of it is there's no definition they come up with that won't exclude some cis women, and it's also stuff they can't possibly know. You're going about, this person is a woman and they're going to live their life as a woman. Well, I'm not going to treat them as a woman until I know what their chromosomes or egg producing capacity is. And it's like, how the fuck, in your interactions with this person, how the fuck will that ever come up? How is that a thing? If you're going to treat, the gender construct as real, if that person tells you within this gender construct they're a woman, they're a man, or they're non-binary, or they're gender fluid, any of these things, how are you going to know? It's just, it's so friggin' weird to me. They're so obsessive, and God, they just talk such shit, basically. That's all right. All right. Ugh. And just the way this TERF crowd fucking associate with straight out fascists. And it's like they're so obsessed with proving their point. They'll go like, well, I'm siding with them because they're on my side as well. They're fucking Nazis. But they support me in this. It's like, well, maybe you should take a good fucking hard look at yourself when your core self-defining thing makes you popular with Nazis. That's just something I'd question. But that's me. Maybe I'm crazy. But that I'd second guess myself if Nazis were aggressively supporting my point. So food for thought, except, so many of these people pushing this ideology do not firkin think. All right, so working my way through my clarified Bloody Mary. I'm thinking of because I obviously made a YouTube video for this. I'm thinking of like having a thumbnail of the clarified cocktail and calling the video, "To be clear, this is a Bloody Mary." You get it? To be clear, because it's clarified? Oh, fucking genius. Hey, Safa, how you doing? Okay, there's like a really fucking big bit of clear ice at the bottom of this, which is basically the same width as the glass. No, Safa, I did not watch any Vision season 2. Mrs. Angry's been playing Legend of Zelda on the TV all the time. Although I did watch some stuff on my PC. I got just on impulse. I thought, you know what? I want to do a rewatch of Mister In Between. And if you've never watched it, I think it's on Foxtel and Binge. I thoroughly recommend it. Australian crime series, sort of what they call it, dramedy, when it's a drama, but it's got some funny stuff in it. Dramedy, about a guy who's an enforcer and a hitman for criminals. So I mean, obviously, he's a criminal and a killer, and just him trying to navigate life as well. Like he's divorced and has a daughter. His divorced wife, Natalie Tran, used to be Australia's most famous YouTuber. Probably for about the first 10 years of YouTube, actually. She may have been Australia's most famous YouTuber. So this is a very uncomfortable room to watch TV in. There's no spare space. If and when I get rid of the bed in here, there will be much more space, and that will make things different. But I was just watching stuff on the PC, so I started a rewatch of Mr. In Between, and the show is fucking great. It is so good. And the guy who created it and writes it and whatnot, and is the lead character. He's just fucking incredible, and he's never been in anything else. Like, you watch this and go, "How the fuck has this guy not been in 20 things?" Because he's 40 something, and it's just fucking amazing. And just the character of Ray, he's so understated. This is like one of those shows, particularly crime shows, where you sort of see fuckwits who are getting themselves into trouble talk too much and whatnot. Just like I just like to feel like, well, first I try very hard to avoid getting into bad situations. But yes, if I ever end up in another bad situation, just not saying anything or keeping saying anything to an absolute minimum, because it just feels like, yeah, when people say too much, they make the situation worse. And I did not change energy providers, but I did get my $250. So, yeehaw. Okay, that was actually good. It was very weird, this drink I made. A clarified Bloody Marys, because it was savory. And virtually all cocktails I make are either sweet, sour, or boozy. They're almost never savory. And that, because it was tomato juice, Worcestershire sauce, chili sauce, tiny bit of chili because it's very strong chili, pepper, smoked. God, my brain just fucking seized up. Paprika. I was about to say the stuff that's made from capsicum that people didn't realize was made from capsicum, and onion powder. And so, yeah, it's actually a savory. It kind of tasted like a vegetable juice. I suppose I'm overcomplicating it by saying cold soup. Gazpacho's cold tomato soup. But it's a tangy vegetable juice or soup, cold soup. Yummy. Ooh, 0 tonight. Cold nights, not as cold as that here. Although I don't think we're having a great week. Now we're having the exciting times of talking about the weather. Overnight minimum of 8. Actually, the overnight minimums aren't that low. Doesn't get any colder than tonight. And no rain for a couple of days. 16, 17, 18. in the city for the next couple of days for work. Might have a walk around at lunchtime. It sounds like it might be decent. Brisk, probably a little bit brisk, but at this time of year, that's pretty good. So we'll see. All right. I think I'm going to make another cocktail video. I'm going to make a low alcohol cocktail. Okay. So my low alcohol cocktail options are called a bamboo, a second serve, or a Queen Elizabeth. Oh, yeah. It is pretty extravagant when potatoes explode in the microwave. And even like the noise they make, if you're around when they do it, it's this sort of, it's like not a bang, but there's like a release of pressure. And I assume it's like the water content of the potato sort of hitting a critical temperature and volatilizing, and it just goes, and the force pops the potato and just, yeah, that's my little bit of ASMR for tonight. I'm approximating the sound of a potato exploding. So what's in a bamboo? Sherry, vermouth, sugar syrup, and bitters. Second serve is Amaro sherry, lime juice, sugar syrup, topped with soda. A Queen Elizabeth is just vermouth and Benedictine and lime juice. They're all a little bit different. Do they all have vermouth? No, they don't all have vermouth. I'm going to do this one, the bamboo, sherry and vermouth, and sugar, tiny bit of sugar and bitters. Oh, I might have made that word up because I think volatile. When something goes explosively vaporizes. So, water can boil. I may have made that word up. But it might be a real word as well. I'm honestly not sure. But yes, it's when something explosively my intention with the word, it's when something explosively vaporizes. So it's like, the potato encased, I don't know if yours was a jacket potato, but I'm going with the idea of a potato encased in its skin. And potatoes have high water content, which of course can boil in a microwave. But if it's like builds up this pressure of boiling and it's got nowhere to go, and the pressure builds and builds, and it finally gets this thing where the potato can't hold the pressure structurally and it goes, I call that volatilizing. And I swear I didn't make up the word, but maybe I did. Honestly, maybe I did. It would not be the first time. Right, I am going to make this bamboo cocktail. Simple stirred cocktail. I didn't bring any fucking ice in. God damn it. I always forget something, which I have previously recommended. Oh, shit. What fuck? I just did something very weird and stupid, but we're still here, so Oh no, wait, what am I doing? Make my life a little bit easier. I meant to serve this in a coupe. Okay, bamboo, Difford's perfect recipe. Sherry, vermouth, Bianco vermouth, and sweet vermouth. Jesus, that's fucking complicated. Okay. Joaquin Seymour's recipe. Oh, that's his recipe I'm following. Yeah, serve it up in Nicanora. All right. I need to go and get some ice because I made a mistake and did not bring my ice. What a silly boy I am. Explosive boiling. I'm admitting I might have made up the word. I have a slight feeling I didn't, but I might have. But, all words are made up. So that's my excuse. I'm going with it. Ooh, I think I did. Wait, volatilize. Definition. Change or cause to change from solid to liquid to vapor. Yes! Volatilizing is going from solid to vapor, bypassing the liquid stage. I didn't make it up. I am possibly using it incorrectly. But volatilizing is something moves from solid to gas instantly. Doesn't really pass through the liquid phase. Hey, Chris, how you doing, man? Saying hello before you go to sleep? Get a dictionary, Dr. Abigail. That's all I'm saying. Or, we're on the internet. Do what I just did. Search up definition of volatilize. I didn't make it up. I'm possibly using it wrong, but I didn't make it up. I also saw those great cloud pictures of yours, Chris, on the socials. They were very nice. But, okay, I'm going to go and get some ice. I might set up, might be worth putting AZ on for this. Or just elevator music, maybe. Just go to interwebs and say define volatilize. More than one word can mean the same thing. It can also mean to make volatile, to cause to evaporate, or to make insubstantial. All right, Chris, have a good sleep, man. Catch you another time, mayhap. Right. Okay, should I put AZ on or just some elevator music? Elevator music, maybe. And yes, Saf, we did get a little bit of freedom there from Chris, and we're the better for it. Play the music called Feeding the Ducks. I like this. Hi, Celtic King. I'm fine. I'm just going to get some ice. I'll be back in a minute. I have some elevator music for a minute while I'm gone. All right. Let's just set up a couple of things. Which, by the way, Dr. Aguilar, is how I was using it. Like, or you know, I was using it incorrectly, but whatever. I knew what I was doing, even if what I was doing was dumb. Yeah, sorry, I know the music's still on. It wasn't doing anything. Thank you. Just a soundtrack while I set up my set. Do this. Just thinking of something. Maybe I will turn. Oh no, wait! I'm going to go out again in a second. I think. Okay, I am going out again for 1 minute. Good, thank you. How are you going? All right, I got my skewer. Okay, I might turn off elevated music for now. All right, I'm gonna try and spear a cocktail cherry. Arg. Bring my chair around and try and stab a cocktail cherry. I think it's about 4. Oh, got one. That was actually easier than I thought. All right. Celtic King. The angry offspring are doing fine. We had a night out on Wednesday for Mrs. Angry's birthday. Okay. Going to make a bamboo. Okay. And this. And this. And the sugar syrup. Alright. And the appropriate bitters. Angostura and orange. Okay. Okay. We're gonna do a ting. We're gonna do a ting. We're gonna do a ting. What was that on the Discord? Image. Sorry, I do want to share this one. This crossed over a couple of things we talked about. Anyway. Image of a 20-planet solar system with an inner planet sublimating into gas. There you go. There's some more I'll show when I do this video, which should be very quick because it's just a short. Okay, go over here. Oh, actually, going to make it first. Okay, so turn my GoPro on. How does that look? Looks good. Might as well start it. Fucking hell, tripping over cords. Let's go, Sherry. Drive a move. Tiny bit of sugar syrup. That's probably enough. All right, bitters. And Angostura bitters. All right, I'm gonna put in Nick and Nora glass. Where's my Nick and Nora glass? Yeah. Okay, let's put some ice in there. Right. Put the cover on my ice thermos. So I might use it again later. Okay. Let's go like this. I'm going to stir it. Ooh, that's really yummy. Put that there. And we strain this in. All right. Oh, yeah, gotta turn that off. That's done. Change a few things around. All right. Now, do a little talkie, which should only take about 2 minutes, even if I stuff it up a couple times. Oops, that's badly framed. Let's do this. That looks good. That looks good. Looks good. G'day, cocktail lovers. That's what I'm doing, sorry. G'day, cocktail lovers. Most of my favorite cocktails are at the boozy end of the spectrum, but sometimes you want something a bit lighter. You want a nice mixed drink, but you don't want it to be too heavy on the alcohol. So I'm going to put together a few comparatively low alcohol cocktails here to give you just that alternative for when you want something a little lighter. But they're all tried and true. They all taste good. And let's go with the first one. The first one is called the bamboo. There have been a bunch of different recipes for this over the last 100 or so years. I'm going to use a fairly simple one, and it goes like this. G'day cocktail lovers. I'm going to make a nice low alcohol G'day cocktail lovers. I'm going to make a nice low alcohol content. G'day cocktail lovers. I'm going to make a nice low content. Fuck me sideways. G'day cocktail lovers. I'm going to make a nice low alcohol content cocktail for you today, just in case you feel like taking it a bit easy but still want a nice drink. This one is called the bamboo. There's been a few recipes for this over the years, but this is a nice simple one. In our mixing glass, we put 45 mils, 1.5 ounces of sherry, the same amount of a dry vermouth, 45 mils, 1.5 ounces, and then just about a bar spoon or 5 mils of sugar syrup. Then we want to do 2 dashes of orange bitters and follow that with 2 dashes of Angostura bitters. Add ice to our glass and stir that for about 20 to 25 seconds to chill and dilute the drink, and then strain it into a chilled Nick and Nora glass. And you know what? Just because I like the colour, I'm going to give myself a treat. Put a nice Luxardo cherry in there and give it a taste. That is a really nice, sweet, fruity balance between the sherry and the vermouth. This is really nice. Worth a try. The bamboo. All right. Look at me being responsible and having low alcohol cocktails. I mean, it'd be more responsible to not have cocktails. But that's crazy talk. Why would I want to have no cocktails? That just not on the cards, really. All right, let me go. All right, let's go. All right, sitting down, putting back on the sound. Oh. So what? Okay, I was just saying, like Megaleech saying, yeah, the Bing AI thing, which I think uses DAL-E, is completely failing to produce what he's actually asking for. But they're pretty pictures. Like you put them on the side of a panel van, or use them as a concept album cover art. I'll show you what I'm talking about. You see, nice sort of planets. Definitely not what the prompt asked for, but nice pictures of planets. And let's see, here's another one. Yeah, just randomly arrayed planets, and one with a very off-kilter ring on it. Oh, it was like there was an episode of Doctor Who where all the planets got stolen and put somewhere. And I kind of like this one with that little, the planet that's got the flat bits on it. It's kind of fun. Yes. So what's that Celtic? 3D says I'm a cunt for teaching people how to make cocktails. Surely on the measurement system, that's like the least offensive thing I do. But here's some fun ones in honor of Chris. Cartoon image of freedom leaving a room as the American leaves. These are cute. I'll share these. Here it is. Freedom leaving. Heading out the door. Well, this one does it as a double, I think, because you got the American leaving wrapped in the flags. And that is just how all Americans dress all the time. But the eagle is like freedom, which is leaving, and the Americans following it in the only way Americans know how. That's a stunningly accurate depiction from the chat bot. What are we doing? I am going to move this to over here for reasons. There we go. So this one actually is really yummy. Man, maybe I should drink more sherry. No, that's... Oh, man. Sherry and vermouth, that's good. For the weirdos on the internet who don't think I'm gay enough for just drinking cocktails, now I'm talking about drinking more sherry. Well, that's just the way things are, I guess. What are you going to do? I used up my week's supply of manliness last night. I went to a whiskey event. It was at a place in Docklands, a hotel in the Docklands was sitting this thing, the Bakery Hill Distillery, pairings of their whiskies with food, and it's fucking awesome. It's really good. And yes, the main was like red meat. It was like beef spare rib. It was the most amazing beef I've ever eaten. I think like it was doing the melt in your mouth thing, which is not something I really associate with beef, but they prepared it so well, and it was so tender in it, like spare ribs type style. Like it had a really crispy exterior, and the meat on the interior just fucking dissolved in your mouth. It was incredible. Even just the little aperitifs they had, it was tiny bits of banana bread with creme fraiche and the fish eggs. It's not likely. Maybe it was real caviar, as in, Russian sturgeon eggs. I mean, maybe it was. I don't really think it was, but maybe it was. But, fish eggs anyway. And it was super yummy. And Celtic, I think it's literally been years since I've received any VD letters. Just get the bloody religious tracts that you signed me up for. Actually, there's one I haven't opened. I don't think it's even in here. I think it's a book. I'm always fascinated when they send me a book. Their magazines are stupid. I mean, the books are stupid too, but the books, I don't know. I guess I place more value on books, so it's always interesting to me when they send a book. So we'll. I don't think I could. I don't even know where it is. Actually, I know where it probably is, but I've been going out, so I don't want to go out again. Not to get a dumb religious thing. So I'm just gonna stay here. Quite honestly, I'm just gonna stay here. Thinking about things. Got to decide. Am I gonna do another one of these non-alcoholic low alcohol? Why did I say non-alcoholic? It's actually they're probably one standard drink, as opposed to most cocktails are 2 to 3 standard drinks. So, a little bit like... Actually, the more I drink this, it's like, okay, this is actually kind of sort of over sweet. So I like it as a one-off, but not something I would drink regularly, I don't think. Well, see, that's always fun. I got a Quran. You got a Quran? You forgot your order? I mean, I have over the years from the things you've signed me up for. I've got a Bible. I think I've got a couple different editions of the Bible, the Quran. I think even the Book of Mormon snuck in there at one point. I'm not 100% sure on that. But I have this kind of feeling that the Book of Mormon snuck in at one point. Right, where did I put my phone? Jesus. Oops, let's put the stoppers back on those. Is this one going to be difficult for me? Oh, there we go, that was easy. Okay. Might put a bit more water in this one. All right. Ooh, what the fuck is that? All right, so the bamboo's gone from to do to doing. And maybe the second serve is Amaro, sherry, lime juice, sugar syrup, and topped with soda. I might do that one. This one's also lime juice. Vermouth, and Benedictine, and lime juice. Decisions. Oh, there you go. I thought you did. I thought I got a Book of Mormon. That makes sense. Sorry, I very much enjoy this prompt. Megaleech has used. It's loading. Okay, a book holding a man. A book holding a man. A man holding a book called The Holy Fable. Has a big cross on the cover. Yeah, it's done the hands reasonably well on that one. That's interesting. And a couple more. Okay, this last one is the weirdest with the fingers anyway. But there's an interesting series of images it's done for someone holding a book. Because it's chosen not to show the face. Look at this one, it's got the wrong number of fingers, or I don't know, the hands look a bit weird on that one. But I'm sure that one's bound in human skin, quite honestly. And there's one more. Oh my God, what the fuck is the image on the cross? It looks like a cartoon rat or something. Okay, that's really weird. That just looks like a farmer. Oh, that one's really weird. I say that as a compliment. Celtic King, these are being done on Bing Creative, which uses DAL-E to generate images. Still free. So you just go to Bing and search for Bing Creative, and it'll put you there. So for what it's worth, and my argument for what it's worth would be not worth much. Not worth much. I'm kind of leaning towards doing another one of these. You know what? I'm going to do this. Actually, what do they say? Oh yeah, Celtic King, if you're on the Discord, you'll see all the images there as well. See, I think I got this from DeFords. Second serve. With a bit of orange. All right, I'm going to make that one. The second serve. But I mean, not yet, because I haven't finished this. Actually, that's a shaken cocktail, so let's dip that in. Put that there. Oof. And I think I know what I'm gonna do. But yeah, let's get this, and I'm gonna put my clear ice in it. Shake it there. All right, you know what? I'm going to quickly do this and then just sit down for the rest of the stream. But, okay, a little bit of mobilizing. Mobilizing and scopalizing. That is a weird reference that no one except me will get. But that's okay. That is okay. Fraggle Rock. Okay, this soda. Okay. Alright, sorry, moving some stuff around. Alright, let's double check. What do we got here? I gotta get the Amaro Montenegro sherry and lime juice and sugar syrup. Amaro Montenegro lives in the cupboard. Alright. Amaro Montenegro. Got to take a picture of this. And where to put the soda? All right, let's do this. And, oh, actually, just want to make it first. So that means, I gotta get organized. Oh, the Discord link. All right. Let me quickly do that. Right, people, copy the link. And there we have the Discord link. if you want to hang out or see what other people are doing on the Discord. All right. Let's do. Where's this? I think this needs to go up a little. There we go. That's probably right. All right. So 43%. Okay. My romantic girl. Will do. Sherry. Lime juice. Sugar syrup. I feel like I put too much in there, but anyway. Okay. So that's that. And look at this glass there. How's that? Alright, and I'm going to peel a piece of orange. Okay. Get a bit more ice in here. Alright, let's start this sucker up. This. And top that with soda water. And give it a stir. All right. Oh, nice. Heine baking a supermarket pizza. Love the supermarket pizzas. I always put extra cheese and bacon on them. Them at all. All right. Now, actually, take a picture before I forget. Take a picture with my phone. Do portrait. All right. that recording. And this recording. And I think just in case anyone posts something to Discord, I'll put my sound off for a second. Okay. That's good. That's good. G'day cocktail lovers, got another nice lower alcohol content cocktail option for you. This one is called the second serve and it goes like this. For the second of the low alcohol cocktails, this one is an interesting twist on a sour. It's called a second serve. In our mixing glass, we put 30 mils, 1 ounce of Amaro Montenegro, then 30 mils of sherry, follow that with 30 mils of lime juice, then 15 mils or just half an ounce of sugar syrup, and then we add ice to our shaker, shake that good and hard for about 10 seconds, and then strain that into a rocks glass, putting it over some of my nice clear ice, and then we top it up with soda water. I guess you could get creative. With that element, depending on your taste. Club soda, Sprite, even Prosecco or champagne. And why not brighten it up a bit with a twist of orange peel? Let's give it a taste. I have to admit, this barely tastes alcoholic. This would be a good sit by a poolside and sip. A variation on a spritz. It's a little more complex than a lot of the spritzes are. I reckon you should try it. The second serve. Cheers. All right, this is actually also nice. So I'm not lying. I'm making good drinks. Oh, motherfucker. Seconds from disaster, as the saying goes. All right, I'm going to get myself settled down and out of trouble, basically. Oh, stop. Switch things off, you clown. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. All right. All right, all right, all right. Okay, very bold, honey. You just go with supermarket pizza without toppings. To each their own. I'm glad you've got a version that you like. But I definitely do. I put extra cheese and bacon. Because I tend to get margaritas. I tend to get the pizzas with no toppings. If I get a pizza with toppings, I might just add a little bit more cheese to it. Oh, man, that's actually really good. Who knew? I might like low alcohol contents. I think I need to be drinking low alcohol cocktails. Speaking of which, my soda water. Didn't actually use much soda water. I will drink that. A rating. Yes, okay, a rating. This is good. This is 8 out of 10. I would have this again. And for those who don't know the Angry Cocktail rating, it's out of 10. And 7 out of 10 is okay. I don't regret it, but I wouldn't do it again. So if it's one I've made, I wouldn't bother to make it again. If it's one I've bought, I wouldn't buy it again. Less than 7 out of 10 is not good. That's a mistake. 8 out of 10 is that's good, and I would have it again. 9 out of 10 is I would actually have another one of those right now. And I swear to God, I've had a couple of 9 out of 10s recently. In fact, one I rated like 9.5. It's very, very rare I rate one 9.5. But the one I rated 9.5, we did actually have two of. On a date night, actually, it might have been the Mother's Day lunch. It must have been the Mother's Day lunch. As with Mrs. Angry and a place we go to every now and then, right next to the train station. We're very big on venues that are accessible by public transport. It's called Copycat. It's right next to Elstonwick Station, which makes it easy to get to. And very good food, very good drinks. And they changed their cocktail menu up. And so I tried new ones. And I swear to God, this one I had, it was instant classic, like 9.5 out of 10. And it was so good that in another round, Mrs. Angry got one of her own. And then I had another one they called the Manhattan, which I love because it's a pun. It's a banana-flavored Manhattan. I think it was like banana-infused vermouth. No, it might have been banana-infused twofold whiskey, actually. Both of these really good ones had twofold whiskey in them. And the Manhattan was a solid 9 out of 10. It was really good. But this other one that had a funny name that I don't quite remember, and I don't know if they've updated their online cocktail menu, because they had only just updated the menu in the restaurant. And they have not updated their online menu. Okay. So I forget what it was called. But it was kind of like a relative of a sour, and it had Australian native lemon myrtle in it. It was just really fucking good. It was exceptional. It was really good. Now, yeah, that was Mother's Day lunch. We had that. So yeah, fucking day drinking. Not the biggest fan of day drinking, because then you got to make it through the rest of the day. And I didn't want to keep drinking. So sobering up while I'm awake. Not a fan. Sober up while I'm asleep. God, it's kind of like after the whiskey night last night. Like it wasn't that far short of midnight when we got home. It was definitely after 11. Because we had to come from Docklands and come back home. And the event went like an hour later than it was scheduled to. It was supposed to finish at 9, and it didn't finish till fucking after 10. And then PT home was after 11 by the time we got home. I think it was like 11:30 actually. Anyway, went to bed. Unsettled night. I was not. I don't remember the specifics of the dreams. I just remember they were stressful and no, not good. I was not happy with the dreams. Things in the dreams were making me unhappy. When I woke up, I don't know, some several hours after going to bed, went to loop, and I felt, and I don't know if that was the whiskey catching up with me, because I had, let's see, 2 whiskey sours and 4 serves of whiskey across the course of the meal, 4 different whiskeys, tasting them with the meal. So over, how many hours was that? 3 hours? Over 3 hours? That's a reasonable amount of alcohol to drink. Not absolutely excessive. I wasn't falling over or anything. But, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 standard drinks over the course of 3 hours, which is enough to, have you in Tim Smith territory. I didn't actually have I don't remember a wood chip in the drink. I think part of it was I had to organize an event, like this whiskey event, and it was really fucking stressful. And I know that there were arguments with people in dreams, which I did not like. It was not good. Just feeling a bit weird in the middle of the night. And then, they don't classify as nightmares because they weren't scary. They were bad dreams. They were dreams that were stressful and not happy making. A drinking problem that was fuller than I thought. Tipped it up too soon. So yeah, that was a whole thing. Like, what was the food? Like I said, there was the start when we got there. It's like you get a whiskey sour and this little mini banana bread with creme fraiche and caviar on it. And I think you were meant to have one of each. And I swear to God, I had like 6 of these banana bread things because they just kept bringing them around. And I had 2 whiskey sours because they just kept bringing them around. And the entree with the meal was very interesting. It was like beetroot prepared several different ways, and a big cracker bread thing, and I think chicken liver parfait or something. But that was pretty good. But the mains, this fucking beef in the mains was incredible. It was so good. We had sides of potato and salad, and it was just all friggin' good. The dessert was a sticky date pudding, which was bigger than I was expecting, but it was also much lighter. Like, I think like sticky date puddings are often really dense, and this was lighter, more like a cake or a muffin. Really nice. Like, because it was bigger than I was expecting. If it was as sort of dense and heavy as a lot of sticky date puddings are, I think it would be too much. But it was good. So there you go. That's my culinary review of my night out last night. I also found out this place apparently does what they call whiskey hour every day. I think it was between 4 and 5, they were saying. And then they're just giving out samples of Australian whiskey. You don't have to buy anything. They just give you a whiskey. All right, man, I might go down there. Whiskey hour. If I've got to be in the city for work, drop in for whiskey hour and sample a whiskey. Safa, sticky date pudding, good in winter. I have to admit, there's these little puddings they have in the actually, they have them in all the supermarkets. I sort of get them when they're half price, and there's a chocolate one and a caramel one, and I think a golden syrup one and a sticky date pudding one, and like microwave them for 30 seconds, and so there's a little sort of pudding bit, and the syrup's in there, and so you microwave for 30 seconds, and tip it out, the cake comes up, and then the hot syrup drips over it. I have those with ice cream. Fuck yeah, man. They're really good. I just get them because they're on half price, like, I don't know, once every couple months, and you go, I'm just going to get some. Have them in little 2-packs. And they just had them on special, and I haven't eaten them yet. So I've got a cupboard full of these little microwave dessert treats. No hangover. Because honestly, I didn't drink that much, and it was spread out over a few hours. But like I said, middle of the night, I did feel weird. Didn't even have a nap today, so I wasn't even tired. So that's the whole thing. What happens if there's no specials? Then I don't get it. I'm not that sold on these things that I get them when they're not on special. It's just like, oh, they're okay, and they're on special. I'll get them. That's how I shop. And in fact, when the Offspring was still here, and I was, organising most dinners and whatnot, what was for dinner during the week would be dictated by what was on special at the supermarket when I went shopping. Because I was looking for inspiration. I went, oh, that's on special. That seems like a good thing for dinner. So, just how I shop. Man, I do this is that's at least 8 out of 10. That's actually really yummy. I should catalog these fucking things properly. Like, I've got a WordPress site. I could redirect the domain angryaussie.com, which I own, to the WordPress site. And it's where I wrote all the original Angry Aussie scripts, 18 years ago. And I should revitalize it as a cocktail site, I think. It just requires I have the time. I just have to say, hey, you know what you do? You should dedicate an hour, just an hour to this each day. You can afford that, an hour. And it probably wouldn't take an hour. It'd probably take 15 to 30 minutes to just do a little update, put a cocktail recipe in there, put a video in there, and give it a rating. Also establish the rating system in there. That is really quite tasty. I like it. So... okay, so this image generator does entertainingly bizarre images when you ask it for comic images. Comedic cartoon image of happy little tomato creatures happily jumping into a wood chipper, and ketchup spurts out of the wood chipper. It didn't capture that really well, but it did some fun images. Like, what's this about? What is this about? It's put wood there because you said wood chipper. Yeah, it's kind of half there, but it's weird. And this one, where are we? This one has just got like the tomato sauce raining down on the tomato people. And I love that it's just random mutations there. I don't know what that black thing is, but there's a thing at the bottom. Kind of looks like an onion or pumpkin? There are little things like onions running around there. What are these long finger things, or is that meant to be liquid? Again, very silly, but fun. So, yes, I used to, because the original blog was called Angry 365 Days a Year, because I was determined to post something to the blog every day for a year just to get me in the pattern. I'd make it cocktails 365 days a year. Post one cocktail related. Actually, that's what I should do. And in fact, I'm going to search for something now. And do this. URL that I kind of have a feeling would exist, and it does. That's interesting. It's .net. Okay. And this has not been updated since 2017. I feel you. Looking at domains. A very obvious domain, which I assume works. Okay, God, there are some really fucking bizarre domain extensions now. God, you can get .melbourne as a domain extension. No one uses these fucking things, though. Nobody uses them. All right. Well, that was very interesting. I just felt compelled to look up a particular domain, which I assume would be taken, and it was. It's not active, but it's taken. When I see you. Oh, that's because I was looking at GoDaddy. So the old Violent Femme song, Gone Daddy Gone, popped into my head. That amazing. Safa, that thing you shared with me was not most livable city. It was best city. Seems stupid, and it's saying that people globally, and it was only 15,000 people. I didn't look into it. But actually, look, maybe I should look into it. Yeah, trunk 365 days a year. I think it's slightly more elegant to just say cocktails $365 a year. $365, 365 days. Come on, load, dumb motherfucker. There we go. Oh, Jesus Christ. How fucking... Sorry, I just saw something unrelated that's really fucking embarrassing. All right, and just seeing if I can find this because you posted me a picture of it, Safa. Yeah. Anyway, okay, let me do a search. Sydney best city. Okay, well that's weird. That didn't produce anything. Oh wait, this might be it. 15. It's saying like they conducted a global survey of 15,000 people. 15,000 people in the context of the world is a ridiculously small sample. Brand financing. Okay, it's just some stupid fucking company. Whatever their ranking system was, it's best place to live. Why? It's so fucking expensive. All these cities they've said, like London, Paris, and whatnot, certainly have things going for them, but they're outrageously expensive to live in. What else is going on? Oh, I think someone might have made a mistake there. Just some fucking scam artist on Facebook just for a goddamn change. What are we doing here? Oh, I've gotten confused. Just for a realistic image of a winter snowscape with a snowman ravenously eating a sticky date pudding. All right. One of which is very wrong. But snowman eating sticky date pudding, because it's a winter thing. See, that's fairly innocuous. That looks like a sticky date pudding. There's a snowman with penguin eyes holding a weirdly misshapen fork. Yes, this one's for you, Safa. And again, that one digging his fork into a sticky date pudding. Looks like he's having a good time. And this one is, for some reason, horrifically demonic and monstrous. For no real reason. I think that's the ravenous thing that is just messed up. That is seriously messed up. Good Lord. Good Lord, what is going on there? Okay, well, of the two low alcohol cocktails I made, the first one I'd say 7 out of 10. Second one, definitely 8 out of 10, though. Very nice. The first one started out good, but as it went on, I was like, no, this is too sweet. It's not something I'd like to drink a lot. But that second one is pretty good. Can't give me sticky tape pudding. That's a stationary themed pudding. It's probably me slurring my words, quite honestly. Sticky date pudding. Drinking a bit of soda water before bedtime. That's me being responsible. I was actually looking at news headlines. Were there any good news headlines? Common wine mistake you're making. Well, I don't drink wine, so I'm fine. This is like, there's a couple articles about the metaverse and why it was a fuck up, but there's one idiot one about Bitcoin. In hindsight, the metaverse will be obvious and inevitable. Like, you fucking shyster. Ooh, suggestions are the state of Georgia in the US may be bringing criminal indictments against Trump for election interference, which they fucking should, because he's a fucking criminal. Oh, I was looking at the wrong thing on my computer. Sorry, Safa, for you, the snowman eating sticky date was for you. Oh God, it's gotten very weird. And now we have a snowman ravenously eating a sticky tape pudding. So that's for you, Cal. Oh my God. Sorry. These are all disturbing. They get a bit more disturbing as you so again, that tongue thing, the ravenous. These are not snowmen you want to meet on a dark night. Either this one. Ooh, just the caramel and the sticky tape pudding just running off. That's unsettling. But nothing compared to this last one, I gotta tell you. This one, what the fuck is this bug snowman regurgitating? That's just incredibly off-putting. That is extremely unsettling. Dang, that's oof. That's nightmare snowman right there. Rats invade the world. Okay, got it. New York sinking under the weight of its building. Womp womp. As the sea levels rise, they're going to have the seawall around Manhattan Island, just like on The Expanse. Ooh, we're getting damaging winds this week. Well, that's fun. More the east coast of New South Wales has been copying shit. Man. What is going on? Croc encounter left a veteran tour guide stunned. So this person was leaning over the side of a boat, like got their phone over the boat, and they just get this picture of a 3.8 meter saltwater croc just ready to jump, which they can. The thing I did actually when I had a holiday in Darwin, went on the Jumping Crocodile River tour, which sounds crap, but it's actually really interesting. So, oof. It's amazing what crocodiles can do, basically. Oh, yes. It's the evil snowmen, Doctor Who villains. Very accurate, Dr. Abigail, actually. And I also agree with you, Safa. That's not good dinner eating visuals. So I hope no one was eating dinner. See if there's anything is. Mathematicians say artificial intelligence just doesn't add up. Is that about how it's bad at maths? That's a pun? Is that what that is? God, Elon Musk is just descending into a colossal. Like, always, I don't know always, but I have for a long time hated Elon fucking Musk. Just that he's a liar and a charlatan and a piece of shit. If anyone remembers the time where AIDSy wanted to say positive things about Elon Musk, and I just lost it. It was like, no, no good things to be said about Elon Musk. He's a fucking steaming pile of shit and a liar and a charlatan. And he's just over the last couple of months has been progressively more and more engaging with white supremacists and other far right ideologues, and just making a succession of stupid and meaningless comments about remote work. I mean, what it comes down to with him, he's just not someone who should be taken seriously. He is not a serious person. He's just a unhinged fucking egotist who says ridiculous shit because he's obsessed with being the center of attention. He has no integrity. He has very little expertise. He lies all the time, all the fucking time about what he may or may not have expertise in. And yeah, the thing is, like, it's not just he's an ideologue and a shithead. It's just the shit he says is meaningless. Like, anyone who takes him seriously is a fucking fool, because he's just not a serious person. He just randomly talks shit. I'm sorry. Now I need to look at this. Sydney Morning Herald article. Millions drop their guard against deadly winter threats. Well, yes, people aren't getting their boosters and not getting their flu shots. And so we're going to get a fucking stupid surge in cases and doubtless fatalities and long-term complications. 3 million over 65s have not had a COVID-19 in the past 6 months. Well, you know, they're going to fucking die. The group most at risk. Between June and November, 1 death was prevented among aged care for every 157 people boosted. There you go. Several indicators say Australia's experienced a rising incidence of COVID cases, particularly among the elderly. A handful of New South Wales schools reverted to remote learning for short periods due to COVID-19 outbreaks among teachers. Yep. It's probably going to be a bad winter. Combined influenza and COVID. Gosh darn it. Ugh. Well, I got my boosters. I got my flu shot. I'm not the most at-risk group, but, you know, I'm higher risk than many. And I, you know, to a large extent, avoid people. It's really interesting. Like, look, when I'm planning stuff like, you know, date nights with Mrs. Angry, crowd and stuff figures into our decisions. And because we went to this event last night, which was in Docklands. So we took public transport into the city, and just the like the tram going into the city is more crowded than the tram I get to work. And just the crowds, and Mrs. Angry's gone, oh, you know what? We'd been toying with the idea of date night in the city, and I'm going to say no, because these crowds are really fucking off-putting. particularly going into the city on incredibly crowded public transport. So yeah, that was a Firkin adventure. But I have to, let's see, it's either this week or next week. I have to go into the city on a Thursday for a dentist thingy. So normally I go in on Monday and Tuesday for work. How busy? Yeah, sorry. Nice correction, Dr. Abigail. Really asking how busy is my orifice. That's a whole thing. But yes, I have to go in on a Thursday this week or next week for dentist thing. And it's almost like, well, if I'm already in the city, maybe I'll do something. And again, having found out this venue that I went to last night has a whiskey hour every day between 4 and 5, where you can get free samples of Australian whiskies. Super fucking tempted to go down there, quite honestly. It's going to delay me getting home by a couple of hours, but I might do it. We shall see. And then, Thursday, I don't know. Maybe, who knows? Could do. But if I go out after work, I might end up not doing a stream. But, sure, the world would keep turning and everyone would still survive. So if I'm unlikely to make a decision before Thursday, but because I don't tend to stay up late on Thursday, if I'm out in the city late, then I just might not do a stream. But I'm unlikely to make that decision much before Thursday. You might just have to save it up for Friday. But we shall see. And in what I believe is a bingo square event, I'm going to eat the cherry that's been sitting in my cocktail. So fucking yummy. A little syrup from the cherries left over. Use it as a cocktail syrup. It's very good and old fashioned, actually. Whiskey old fashions with the syrup from a Luxardo cherry jar. Yummy. So I might do that. But I might also go to bed on Sunday night. I don't want to overdo it. So got to get up a little bit earlier than other days. Because I like to get earlier public transport, is less crowded than later public transport. So we shall see what happens and see what the next couple of days bring. No idea what I'm going to do. Anything could happen. I'm not good at forward planning. I'm watching tomorrow. Probably watch a couple shows on Prime, The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel and The Power. I don't think we watched them for a couple of weeks, so there should be a couple of episodes. That's the thing. So see you fine people. Okay. Oh yes, Megaleech, have an Ood night as well. The Ood knows what's up. I don't know how cold. It's going to be about 10 in the morning when I go to work, I think. We'll see. Not that cold. But I'm going to go sleepy bobos for now. So I hope you all take care. I'll see you another time, whenever that may be. Probably Tuesday. But, by the way, anything could happen. Who knows?